Hey folks, this is Bardic Dragoon. Welcome back to Let's Play Parasite Eve. So we last left off, we ended up dealing with a rather antisocial biologist who, well yeah, let's face it, he was not a pleasant individual to deal with. But we learned maybe some interesting information. I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest. But we also learned that there's a concert, well we kind of learned that before, but that the concert for Melissa at filling my throat at Central Park is still happening. So predictably, since Melissa is Eve, that means that Eve is probably going to be here, and well, we don't want that. So here we are at Central Park to fight horrible mutant snakes. We're here to do more than that, but we're going to be doing quite a bit of that while we're here. No, don't bite me. Bad snake. Alright. Okay, so I suppose since we're going to be in a pretty long section of gameplay here, I might as well talk about the gameplay. I kind of touched on a few things here and there briefly. Actually, wait. There's something I'm missing here, isn't there? With like the item upgrading in the, what, 2 episodes ago? But yeah. Because I remember quickly. But yeah. And I mentioned I would go into more detail about it, so I suppose this is the time to do that. Did I already get this? Actually, is it even here or is it somewhere else? And it's not that really all that great of an item anyway, so it doesn't matter if I get it or not. But yeah. Because, as I mentioned, or if I didn't mention, I meant to mention, I'm mostly going to be sticking with handguns. And there's a actually very good, very logical reason for that. If you ask me, handguns are probably, I suppose maybe not the best weapon in the game. There are arguably much better weapons. But, yeah. More ammo didn't, no, I mean, you can always use good ammo. Actually, gotta remember. Keep up. Keep reloaded. But yeah. Because in this game there's, well, there's actually, yeah, there's 7 types of weapons in this game. 5 normal ones and then 2 kind of special case weapons. The normal weapons being pistols, machine guns, rifles, shotguns, and grenade launchers. And then your special case weapons are the rocket launcher and the club. Now, the special weapons kind of, they have specific purposes in the game. Stupid bird. With the club basically being your, you know, it's always available fallback. It doesn't take ammo, though it does have the disadvantage of not being terribly strong and also having next to no range. But you can upgrade the power. Strange enough, you can't upgrade the range on them. I mean, well, actually not really that strange. It actually makes entirely too much sense. I mean, that's kind of the point, is to be your last resort weapon. You don't want to, you know, have it be the best thing that you're carrying around. I digress though. As I said, it's one of a handful of weapon types that you have in the game. The other one being the rocket launchers, which we won't even see for a long time, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them. But they basically, long story short, are designed to be the most powerful weapon in the game, with the exception that they can't really be upgraded, which holds them back a little bit. But anyway, let's see if we... There we go. There we go. That's the important item we wanted here, the zoo key. And if I remember correctly, there is a way to get... There's something behind it. Yeah, the obnoxiousness of... Ah, there we go. Yeah, the obnoxiousness of having to be standing in the exact right place to pick stuff up. Oh. Let's... Oh, that's right, junk. Junk is more or less exactly what it's described as being. It does have a use. I don't feel like talking about it right now because its use is really not all that useful. Okay, wait. What's the red capsule? Speaking of which, second type of weapon that we've come across in the... Or, speaking of which, normal weapons. As I said, our normal weapons, you have pistols, as we've already come across rifles, and we just found our first grenade launcher, which for some reason takes the same ammunition as everything else. I mean, I could see some sharing of ammo between like pistols, you know, or pistols, rifles, machine guns, but shotguns and grenade launchers using the same ammo as everything else just feels a little bit odd. Okay, and actually, there are, yes. Because really none of the armor is really good per se right now, but... What are you? Can we look at it without... Because I'm trying to remember if that's something that we actually want to have. Nope, okay. Because, yeah, and each weapon basically fills a certain niche and role in battle. Pistols are your kind of middle-of-the-road, good for any situation kind of weapons. And especially once you upgrade them, because that's really where a lot of the strategy in this game comes from, is upgrading your weapons. Okay, what are we fighting now? Oh, the monkey. Monkeys are kind of obnoxious and hard to deal with. Well, not hard to deal with. Because, yeah, they've got a giant banana arm, and, well, they can hurl it at you. Oh, okay, I got a little too close there. Nope, come back here. Or, not come back here, get away from me. Got a little confused what I wanted him to do there for a moment. Okay, you're just gonna meander about the battlefield. Ow. I'm going to just shoot you then. But anyway, as I said, pistols are kind of your middle of the road. Good for everything. They're the second fastest weapon in the game. They tend to have pretty good stats, and that's really the main thing. The only other thing that they have going for them, like unique, or that's like unique to them, is, though you don't see it till later in the game, they're the only weapons that come with the multi-action ability on them. But those are, I think, either late or post-game only guns that you can find. So, yes, tool. Okay. Actually, wait, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Actually, that'll tell us what this is. Oh, heat effect. No. Heat effect is not worth it. Okay, so we are adding something to the P220. Two attack, one range, two range, one attack. What's our attack at right now? 20. But arguably high range, because, okay, getting distracted by different other sub-mechanics and things like that. I don't know, what about the armor? Actually, I don't really care about the armor that much. I mean, actually, ooh. You could be useful. Yes. No, we don't want that. We want to do this. Actually, wait. Is the SP vest worth it? Okay. You know what? Because I know what guns are worth it and what guns aren't. We'll stick with that for the moment being. Because you can also upgrade armor, I think I mentioned before. Yeah, you know what? Because your stats are just... You have more stats that can be brought onto here. And... there we go, 7 bullets, and more attack power, more range. Which range is actually pretty good, because in addition to, of course, affecting... Because range really doesn't affect where you can attack so much as... Well, it kind of does, but... Because pretty much the way it works is... Anything that is within your range, you can hit, and you have, like, a 90 or 100%, like a 90-something% accuracy rating. Versus... if you're... Like, if it's outside the range, you take a massive drop to your accuracy rating. But the other thing that matters with range is the fact that the there's like a kind of sweet spot, which I don't know how it measures, if it literally have to be right, if like actually have to be a certain distance from the enemy for it to count, or if it's actually like you need to, or if it's like a certain percentage of your total range. Ow. I hate these plants. Mostly because this encounter, it's kind of hard to find like a safe spot. And we are in trouble. Alright, let's see, that heals 90. That heals 45. 45 it is. Save the good healing for when you really need it. Which is arguably right now anyway. Oh wait, now we're poisoned too. And see, this is how revives work. See, I just died and suddenly I'm brought back to life. And it's, okay, 50% health, okay. Okay. You need to die now, so that way I can come over here, lick my wounds here, and be out of range of that thing. And I don't want to dip into my medicine tooth yet, but I'd rather really not dip into my revives right now. Okay, anyway. But yeah, because the closer the enemy is when you hit them, the more damage you'll do, or the higher your critical chance is. Which is why I run in right up close against enemies when I decide to attack them. Though this one is probably not a good idea to do that, because it's hard to run out of their range once you're in it, and they start attacking, but yeah, whatever. Okay, and I think we want to go, yes, here. Okay. But yeah, because, okay. Back to the basic type, or the information as far as gun types. Yeah, snakes. Because as I said, you got the 5 different types of basic guns. Pistols are kind of your bread and butter, very basic, not fancy. Like I said, they tend not to get much in the way of special properties outside of... They're the only weapon that will innately have the multi-action ability on them, but as I said, we don't even see that until much later in the game. Ooh. That's useful Parasite power. Actually, wait, I haven't even looked at what do we even have for Parasite energy right now? Slow could be useful. Anyway. Pistols are, as far as speed, they're truly middle of the road. Oh, pardon me. In that they're literally kind of, they're not really fast, but they're not, at least they're not as slow as some of the other weapons. And they tend to have the highest range as well as highest damage. Or base damage and range, at least. As I said, weapon modding kind of, when you're talking about the stats of weapons, completely throws anything you say out the window. But what was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah. But yeah, they still tend to have the highest attack power and range as far as their base stats. Shotguns, really the only thing good about shotguns, because the shotguns are the second slowest weapon in the game. Okay, get away from me. Back off, back off. Hey. Are you the same one I was shooting at before? Yes, you are. There we go. But yeah, shotguns, they have the they're the second slowest gun in the game. And they're a little bit more powerful than your pistols, but the main thing they have going for them is the spread property, is the fact that they're pretty much every shotgun has the spread property, which allows you to hit multiple targets in a 45-degree arc around you. Actually, wait. I'm not collecting junk. It's not worth the effort. Anyway. So that's the main thing they have going for them. And then grenade launchers, they are your elementally themed and status effect inflicting weapons. In that they naturally come with the different things that can inflict status effects or elemental damage, like the one we just found here has heat damage, which is the equivalent of fire. Though admittedly, elemental properties are kind of a fool's gambit in this game. Not that they aren't powerful, it's just that unless you're wanting to use like scan every fight and then have like a weapon default and like be swapping weapons on a regular basis, there's really, the benefit does not outweigh what you have to go through to actually be capable of taking advantage of it. Okay, no. Alright. Don't know how I dodged that, but I'm not complaining. And yeah, but the later ones you do find actually have status effects ranging from instant death to sleep to poison and stuff like that, which are far more useful. I should have taken a shot at one of the birds. Oh well. But yeah, they are kind of your, as I said, status effects, elemental damage, fun things like that. And then finally, the machine guns are arguably the best weapon in the game, but they require a lot of effort to get there. The main thing being with the machine guns is the fact that they are the fastest gun. Literally, they even beat out the pistol by a good measure, which is the second fastest in the game. They're just that quick. They also tend to have some of the highest fire rate attributes on them, like, for example, fire rate, like what I have right now, the P220, has a fire rate of 2, so I fire 2 shots every time I attack with it. Which, having more shots per turn actually gives you more damage. For example, the 2 that I have right now, if both shots land, I actually do 120%, so 20% extra damage compared to the normal attack. And as you do more shots, you do more damage, though the amount that really matters isn't all that big. Like, you go from 1 times for a single shot to 1.2 for a double shot to 1.26 for 3 shots. And then it actually kind of sticks around there for the next 2, which is 5 times and 7 times. Finally, at 10 shots, you do a total of 1.3 times damage. And the assault rifles are the only weapons that innately have that property, and are arguably the only ones, due to their incredibly fast fire rate, that it's actually safe to use that. So, as I said, they can be really powerful. The problem is, most of them, like the ones that have that 10 shot, aren't until much later in the game. And a lot of the ones early on tend to have a kind of negative property on them, random, which they'll basically just, you don't get to choose who you shoot. They just shoot random enemies on the field with each bullet. Which, yeah, it's kind of obnoxious and not a good thing to have on a gun. Yeah, poison cure. Useful, I guess. But yeah, if you can actually... defense boost. And... there we go. Okay. And yeah, but I mean, if you can spend the time to actually get one of the, like, late or post-game machine guns and, like, really start upgrading it, they're arguably the most powerful weapons in the game. Especially for the main game, pistols, in my opinion at least, beat them out. Okay. Sure. This next section, if I remember correctly, we've been at this 20 minutes. Or actually, not even 20 minutes. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying, the pistols kind of beat them out, mostly because, especially the P220 here, that's like the second weapon you get in the game, can actually, if you maintain it, be one of the better weapons to take through the whole game. Mostly because of the fact that every weapon, in addition to, its actual attributes and the stats that are, like, the actual behind-the-scenes stats as far as, like, fire rates and stuff like that. That was an odd thing to point out. We've just been killing mutated monkeys and birds and snakes and, okay, well, plants, admittedly, not so, incredible. Burnt corpse over here. Hi. Hi, you alive? Nope, you're just dead and blocking the path. Of course you are. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but because with the number of properties that weapons have, there's only like a handful of, like, really good weapon properties. The main ones to have on there, of course, other than, like, rate of fire, which does count as a weapon property, there's what is it? Burst, which you can get from the shotguns, which allows you to hit multiple targets, which is, of course, extremely useful to have. And okay, yeah, that's right. We don't actually get to... We see her floating there. We don't get to see the scene yet. Okay. But some of the elemental... Well, not the elemental, but the status effect properties like instant death, damage over time, and sleep. Okay. Do I need to first... Okay. I think I know what I need to do here. And, of course, the multi-command ones. Those are the main things that you want to have on there. There are some other ones that have, like, boosted critical chance, first attack, stuff like that. They can be useful, but they aren't, like, essential. Well, I suppose, yeah, she's right. The holiday season does bring joy to us all. I don't want her to be happy, though. Be the most special of all. What's with the moaning or yelling or whatever that was? Eh? Oh, okay, I guess it's the whole mitochondria Eve thing talking here. Okay, so I guess the things Clamp was talking about and kind of alluded to are what's actually happening. Go figure. Goop. Okay, sure, why not? She just turned a whole audience full of people. Oh, wait. I think Daniel's going to be mad at us. Because if Ben and his mom were going here, they're part of that Goop pile, aren't they? I don't think there's much left to stop her. She turned an entire audience into Goop. I mean, I suppose still go back there and shoot her so she can't do any more damage. Hey, it's Creepy Ghost Girl again. She's leading us backstage, which we already knew we had to go to, so I'm confused. Why did she show up? Okay, do we have to fight her again, or I forget? What was the point of that? Nothing happened. We ran in, we pointed a gun at her, and she ran away, and we're like, wait, don't run away. Let me forget that I can shoot very fast, sharp, pointy projectiles at you, and let you run away. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, with the weapons, as I said, there's only a handful, like, really useful. I mean, you have the rate of fire options, which can boost your overall damage, so they're good. There's really three, though one of them you don't get until post-game, so I'm not going to bother touching on it too much here. But of the status effect properties, which are of course good, you want to have those two of those. Your rate of fire, once again you won't see it till much later in the game, but multi-action, that's another useful one to have. And as I said, those, and burst, those are the main things that you want on there. 5 slots, that's exactly how many the P22 hero has when you max it out. No, wait. I mean, we want to be here, but first I want to grab some stuff here. Because of course they hide stuff when, you can't see it. Yeah, so I'm going to get something better from that. Oh well. I'm stuck on a box. There we go, okay. And so, as I said, it makes for a good weapon to take to the main game, and, I mean, as I said, probably, especially for the post-game, the assault rifles are better. Especially because this game doesn't really have a lot of tact and limits on what you can do with the upgrade system. So, for example, if you wanted to, you could make a machine gun that fires 10 shots, all with a shotgun burst on them, and that's perfectly fine as far as the game cares. I mean, it makes no sense, but hey, I guess it makes more sense than the gun modding in Resonance of Fate, where you actually had to, like, line up parts on a grid, and, you ended up with these giant guns that probably would have been, like, 5 feet wide and 5 feet long with, like, 4 things in front of the barrel to prevent a bullet from actually going through if you tried to shoot it, but damn if they weren't powerful. Well, anyway, I think we've spent enough time rambling here. It's, what are we at, almost half an hour? Yeah, 25 minutes. we've talked about gameplay. There's still more I want to cover, but it's over 20 minutes, and we found a save point, so I think we'll call it a day. Tune in next time for more of Central Park. Until then, as always, later, folks.